Welcome to Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. And you know, it's been such a roller coaster week. I was so excited having my nice tractor, pulling my nice new cultivator and packer, going across the land, working the ground up like powder. In like 2.5 days, getting in almost 200 acres of land. I was like, yes, I'm completely ahead of the game. Everything is going so good. And then we got a rain and I'm like, oh, perfect. Monday, I can take my wife out. Lynette and I are going to the beach. We're gonna pick sea glass, have a nice date day, and then everything took a turn, like a turn. We're coming up the side road right over here, and it's black, and I'm like, oh, please, please, Lord, we just had a nice 1/2 inch rain. Please let this rain not be hitting us. And as I came up the road, torrential downpour. We ran into a wall of rain, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I just planted the beans. I worked the ground up to powder. It's going to turn into cement. And as we got to the corner, it even got worse. Hail the size of pennies. Some of you don't know what a penny is, but penny size hail. And it's bouncing off the vehicle, and I'm like, hail no, we don't want this. Terrible. Hail is the worst thing you want. Knocking off flowers and apples off the trees. I was so mad. And look at the water laying here. Unless we get another rain, pray for a rain for us, like towards the end of the week, to soften up this cement crust, or I have to replant everything again. But you know what? We go through roller coasters in life. You think about a guy in the Bible like Job. I want to read for you what Job went through. If you think you're having a bad day, listen to this. While your servants were plowing, his servant comes to Job and says to him, while your servants were plowing with your oxen and your donkeys were nearby eating grass, a gang of Sabeans attacked and stole the oxen and donkeys, and they've put your servants to death, and I'm the only one that has escaped. That's bad. That's bad news. That servant was still speaking when the second servant came running and said, God sent down fire and killed your sheep and your servants. I am the only one who's escaped. Sheep are burnt. They're barbied. Before that servant had finished speaking, the third raced up and said, now I would have been Job and said, hold the phone. If this isn't good news, keep walking. Before that servant had finished speaking, a third raced up and said, a gang of Chaldeans attacked and stole your camels. All your servants were killed, and I am the only one to escape. Oh man, 3 strikes, that's it, right? Oh no. That servant was still speaking when the fourth one dashed up and said, your children, and this is the worst of all, your children were having a feast and drinking wine at the home of your oldest son, when suddenly a windstorm from the desert blew the house down, crushing all your children. I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. When Job heard this, he tore his clothes, and then he shaved his head because of great sorrow. He knelt to the ground, and then he worshiped God. Are you kidding me? He worshiped God. Yesterday, I didn't actually get out of the vehicle and worship God amongst all the hail on the ground. I didn't do that. But this is what Job says. We bring nothing into this world at birth, and we take nothing with us at death. The Lord gives and the Lord takes. Praise the name of the Lord. And in spite of everything, he did not sin and accuse God of doing the wrong. Incredible. Sometimes in life we get blindsided. On November 18th, 1985, in a game that saw the Washington Redskins versus the New York Giants, Joe Theismann, one of the legendary quarterbacks of our time, who had in 1983 won the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl, an MVP. He had the worst season of his life. In fact, people were wondering about getting rid of him or throwing him out to the curb. Just 2 years earlier, Super Bowl and MVP of the league. Are you kidding me? And all of a sudden in that game, November 18th, 1985, he was blindsided by the beast, Lawrence Taylor, who basically was the greatest defensive player of his time. And not only that, but he was blindsided. He didn't see him coming, and he was hauled down and his leg broken. Never played another game. You know what? I believe in life, sometimes we get blindsided. Job got blindsided. The Lord ended up restoring everything to him. You know what? There's going to be brighter days ahead. Please, don't focus on how terrible everything is. I've seen it where the crops are crusted over and all of a sudden a nice little rain comes and softens it up. This isn't over yet. It looks bad. Life might look bad right now. You might feel blindsided, but the Lord is there. Please call on Him in your time of need. And that's been Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. Take care. God bless.